outside today. I am under a bridge, you know, in my neighborhood, and it's a little hectic in my house, so I decided to just, it's a beautiful spring day, so why not just do a little reading outside. Hopefully the traffic isn't too loud. I'm right next to a highway as well, so I'm going to be speaking a little louder, but I think it's a little better than being inside. I think I would have gone a little crazy. Anyways, today we are going to be doing an inner child reading, okay? What does your inner child want? What is your inner child feeling? What does your inner child need that they didn't get when they were a child, when they were actually in child form? We all have inner children, you know, we have to tend to our inner child all the time. We should be trying to honor our inner child and trying to heal the inner child as much as we can, so that we can maintain a certain level of youthfulness, happiness, you know, and resolution for whatever may have happened in our childhood, you know what I mean? So, we're also going to be looking at how you can honor them. I just have some notes right here. So these are the decks that I use up here. This is pile 1. Up here, not over here, over here, amethyst, pile 1, Himalayan rock salt, pile 2, fluoride, green fluoride, pile 3, and rose quartz, pile 4. We're going to be looking at all these questions that I've just mentioned. What do they need? How can you honor them? And how are they feeling? And maybe whatever additional messages want to come up. So, take a minute, meditate on whatever pile, really focus, and I will see you at your reading. Bye. All right, pile 1 with the amethyst. What? The first question I petitioned was, how is your inner child currently feeling? That's going to be revealed with these 2 cards right here. How is your inner child currently feeling? Priest and doctor. Maybe a bit of a know-it-all. Maybe your inner child was a bit of a know-it-all. Trying to help people. You're trying to help people and you don't even know what you're trying to help. You don't even know how you're trying to help. You just know it's very innate. You just have, I feel like you had a very innate sense of duty to people, and you just really wanted to help people. You wanted to, I think you wanted to tell people how much you knew. Maybe you just you were that type of kid that just kind of regurgitated facts. You had this type of energy to you that was very healing, but you're not, you know, I don't think you were you didn't want to be a doctor, but you just had this very healing energy to you that was just very innate and intrinsic. And I think people often wondered, how did this kid know? How are you trying to help, you know? Maybe they're feeling a bit feeling like they want to help. They want to help. They want to be of assistance to whatever maladies, but they don't really know how, because I feel like they don't really have the knowledge, but they have a very intrinsic way of being a healing energy, but not wanting to help, but really wanting to help, just really wanting to help people, wanting to help people open their eyes, wanting to help people. They're in a very helpful mood. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Their inner child is in a very helpful mood. Maybe you were a teacher's pet. Maybe inner child was a teacher's pet. Alright, so what do they need right now? What does your inner child need right now that they didn't necessarily get when they were children? 7 of Swords and the 3 of Staffs. Interesting. Communication. A lot of communication. Maybe the inner child was a bit of a weirdo and people just didn't want to talk to them. Very creative. I think your inner child is very abundant, but I feel like people were trying to dim your light because, you know, you have this energy to you. It's very creative. Maybe the inner child needs more creativity in their life. maybe they weren't allowed to be super creative. Yeah, Gemini is also very, very creative type of energy. Maybe you're kind of like the loner kid, you know, and people didn't really like talk to you, or people didn't want to talk to you all that much. You need communication. You need open communication. Maybe people talked bad about you a lot. Maybe people thought your ideas were stupid. You know, whatever creative ideas you had, it was stupid. You need time and space to create some type of open communication. You need some time to look forward to, you know, whatever is going to come into your life. But you need some type of creative outlet. If you don't have that already, somewhere you can like communicate your ideas. Yeah, maybe you're an artist. You can, maybe you're a visual artist, some type of filmmaker, poet, whatever. Communicating through creativity, you know, that's what they need. Communication through creativity, and that'll bring great abundance. 73 is a 10. So I'm gonna get some healing words from my healing deck to see any other way that you can honor your inner child. What else do they need to heal? What else do they need? What else does the inner child need to heal? Okay. Observe your attitude and practice the art of transformation. So maybe like, because the inner child, I feel like the inner child feels a little like quiet, you know, like shunned almost. And maybe this has created some type of like cynicism, you know. So I think it's asking you to observe your attitude of life. There's some type of cynicism going on. Practice the art of transformation. Acknowledge one situation in life that's taking your power. Transform that situation into something positive, and maintain that perspective as spiritual discipline for the entire day. When spirit slips into negativity, simply breathe, then pray your way back into an inner space of positive visualization. Your goal, to practice the art of transformation. Maybe like you have a cynical attitude, and this has been taking a lot of your energy. It's been preventing you from being the person that your inner child wants you to be. You know, maybe you feel like you just have to shut up. You know, you have to shut up and nut up, or whatever the phrase is. I don't know. You know, I feel like you have to get to the root of whatever is causing like your attitude problem, or just like feeling, yeah, it doesn't feel like a nice attitude. Feeling like, because you know you're such a maybe you're an empath, and people really saw that and they preyed upon that, and they really like came down on you because of it, you know, and that has made you a bit tough to protect your energy. And that, you know, I understand, but you can change that. Observe your attitude and practice the art of transformation. How is your attitude, your cynicism, taking away from what you want out of life? If it is, you know? And if you realize, yeah, my attitude and my outlook on life and the way I've been behaving with people has not been in my greatest favor, and that actually has been causing me some problems, you know? Acknowledge it and try to move on and honor the inner child through open communication. Maybe you're the type of person who, you know, once you like, it's kind of like one and done. Like once you've crossed me, like, fuck you. You know? Fuck with me one time, fuck you forever. because you had such a beautiful healing light as a child, but I feel like people were just like, yo, who the fuck is this kid? And now you've become cynical and tough and rough. Maybe brush people off a little too easily. You can change this by observing your attitude and refinding a creative outlet where you can express your feelings, express your emotions, express spirituality, your spiritual nature. Very beautiful spiritual nature. You can communicate that. You can show the world. You don't have to be afraid to show people that side of yourself, you know? I understand the way that life can go, especially with kids, you know. We're so sensitive, we're so innocent, and then we have that innocence kind of like fucked with, and we don't want to reveal that part of ourselves to the world because we're afraid of getting hurt again. I understand. But you need open communication. Your inner child, in order to heal your inner child, you need open communication, and you need to be able to observe your attitude. Okay? Observe it, acknowledge it, see the ways in which your attitude has served you, and to where your attitude has been to your detriment. Try to be a little more open with people, you know? It's okay. It's okay to be open. You don't have to give people the cold shoulder all the time. I understand you want to protect your energy, but you got to open up a little bit sometimes, you know? All right, pile 2, that's all I'm getting. Pile 1. If this reading resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me. You know, I love doing this, even if I don't get like a lot of attention or a lot of monetary gain. Just helping you realize your greatest self is reward enough for me. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye. See you in my next video. Hi, pile 2. How are you doing? Excuse me. So, the questions I petitioned, just to remind you, are: how is your inner child currently feeling? What do they need that they didn't get when they were in child? And how can you honor them? So, these 2 cards are going to represent how your inner child is currently feeling at the present moment. Conversation and fortune in reverse. They're a bit alone, but I feel like they don't really mind, because I feel like they're doing something else that makes them really happy, and I feel like that's bringing them a lot of abundance. You know, they may not have a lot of friends. They may not talk to their siblings a lot. They may not talk to their neighbors a lot. They may not talk to their family a lot. But I feel like they feel very fortunate. They feel very grateful. And maybe they're doing something else that is bringing them a lot of abundance. So maybe I don't know. Maybe you were a prodigy, a child prodigy type of energy, where you know you had an activity that really took a lot of your time, but you know really just was an amazing skill to build upon. You know, maybe you did gymnastics, you were really good at that. Did ballet, you were really amazing at that. You know, maybe did violin, whatever it was, whatever activity you did as a kid that maybe took you away from, you know, regular socialization as a child, but it brought you a lot of abundance. It brought you a lot of luck, and maybe a lot of joy as well. Maybe some money. Maybe you won some competitions as a kid. So I think they're chilling. Maybe they feel a bit lonely, but I think that they understand that what they're doing is great. You know, whatever activity that they're doing that is taking them away from traditional socialization. I feel like they understand that this activity is great, and it brings them a lot of joy. You know. Yeah. So what does your inner child need that they didn't get when they were children? High Priestess and the Five of Cups. Maybe a guiding light. Someone to tell them that, you know, hey, it's enough. You can actually take a break. You know, you can walk away from this if you want to. You don't have to. This doesn't have to be all engulfing. Yeah, someone to just tell them, like, give them some guidance. Because maybe this activity, it was so all-consuming. Maybe they didn't get a chance to, maybe like mentorship. They need mentorship. Maybe you were doing the activity but didn't really have a mentor to really guide you through it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you had teachers, you had, you know, people who were teaching you how to do this, but you weren't really given a mentor on how to handle your emotions. Because maybe, yeah, you were doing this amazing thing that was like material, that gave you material gain, maybe like, I don't know, popularity elsewhere. But in terms of, you know, getting in touch with your emotions, maybe you needed someone to tell you, like, hey, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to do this. You can do something else. But you needed someone to tend to your emotional life, tend to your spiritual life. What do you want? Because maybe this activity, you know, it might have been something that the parents wanted, not necessarily you. You know, who is taking care of the emotional side of you? Who is nurturing the emotional side of you? And maybe this activity didn't really allow you to be super creative. Maybe it was a very technical kind of activity that didn't really allow for much freestyle and individualism, you know what I mean? Yeah. The emotional bonds are needed because of maybe a lack of proper socialization. There is some delay in the development of socialization skills. I think you just need somebody to just be there for you. Be a big sister. You know what I mean? You needed someone to be a big sister, big brother, big mentor, whoever, and I don't feel like you got that, and you need that. Yeah, definitely need more freedom to just, whatever you do, just being more creative, being more individual, you know? And you need someone to say, hey, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to do this. You can walk away from it if it really doesn't bring you joy. Yeah, you need that guidance. You really need guidance. Maybe look to somebody who is older than you, someone who is more wise than you, just to give you some emotional nourishment. I'm really seeing that's lacking, unfortunately. Emotional nourishment. Maybe you need someone who's going to stick around. Maybe when you were a child, people were coming in and out of your life, and you just need someone who's going to stay. You need someone who's going to be constant. Maybe consistency is something that was lacking. Yeah. All right, let's see how you can honor your inner child. You're very emotional. That's blue. Blue, 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 blue. These cards are so big! Oh my god. Oh my god. Here we go. And random, and a 1, and a 2, and a doodly doodly doo. That was corny. Visualize a healthy body and mind and enhance your physical health. So, I understand that mental health and your physical health are very interconnected to each other. You can honor your inner child by honoring your body, honoring your mind. If your mental health is not in a good space, what can you do to enhance it? What can you do to get a better body? Like I said, the mind and the body are very intertwined with each other. So if the mental health isn't good, the body will suffer. Give yourself some nourishment. Give yourself some nourishment. You know, maybe take a run. Eat something that's good for your body, that's going to feed your body. You know, what we put into our body ultimately, you know, is connected to our mental health. You know what I mean? That's why when I remember my father, when I was really depressed, he would tell me, you know, just go for a run. Like, that shit really does help. If you're depressed, if you're feeling any type of mental ailment, go for a run. And if you're feeling, you know, your body is not doing too well, you know, examine your mental health. It's interchangeable. The two are so tightly connected. It's absolutely impossible to ignore one, to tend to one and ignore the other, I should say. Maybe do some meditation, you know, do some yoga, you know, practice visualization. You want a healthy mind, you want a healthy body, it first starts with you wanting it and visualizing it. And having the desire and the need and the drive to reach that. Yeah, maybe you have some anxiety. Maybe you have some nerve problems. Maybe you're, you know, something with the mental health that is manifesting in the physical body. Yeah, pay attention. Pay attention to your health. Pay attention to your health. You know, take steps to create a healthier body. You know, there are books, plenty of resources that we can use. You know what I mean? To get a more sound, more healthy body and mind, because they are very connected to each other. All right, pile 2. I think that was your reading. That's pretty much all the messages I'm getting. Let me see. Do I have any other messages? Yeah, I feel like the lack of emotional nourishment has caused some problems. So heal yourself. It's really asking you to just find healing in yourself, and it's up to you to heal. You know what I mean? To find the resources and the ways in which you can heal yourself. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. That's a good place to start. All right, pile 2. That was your reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe if this resonated. I love to do this. This is amazing. I hope to see you in my next video. Have a great day. Have a great life. Hi, pile 3. So if you chose the green fluoride, this is your reading. So just a reminder, the questions I petitioned were, how is your inner child currently feeling? Which is going to be represented by these 2 cards right here. What do they need right now that they didn't get when they were a child? And how can you honor them? So let's start with these 2 cards right here. How is your inner child feeling right now? What are they doing? Love and cheerfulness in reverse. I feel like they've been hurt by love. I feel like they loved really hard, and you know, it didn't really bring them the joy that they wanted. Maybe they were a very flirtatious type of child, and people didn't like that about them. Very beautiful child, and maybe they were receiving a lot of love, and that made people jealous. You know, maybe that made other kids jealous. They're so full of love, and they wanted to give love to the people around them, but I feel like people were just kind of rejecting that. They wanted to love so desperately, and it, you know, people didn't want to accept that. People didn't want to accept the love that they were offering. But when people saw that they were receiving love, people were like, well, excuse me, no, I don't fuck with this. It's so weird. Maybe you had a lot of crushes. Maybe people were really crushing on you when you were a kid. And people were jealous of that, so they kind of lashed out. Maybe you're getting a lot of attention and people were just kind of lashing out on you. People were so jealous that you were receiving love, or you were so full of love that they just kind of lashed out on you and took it out on you because they were insecure that they weren't receiving the love at home. Maybe you were a very beautiful child, very physically beautiful child, no one could deny that. And people, because you were so beautiful, people were just hateful. Or maybe like you projected this aura of love. You projected this aura of love, but on the inside, maybe you're a bit sad. You kept a happy face. You tried to keep a happy face, like no matter what. You just wanted to be. You were this beautiful vessel of physical beauty, love, physical love, and friendship love, whatever type of love. But on the inside, I feel like you were feeling a bit sad because all these people are just like coming at you, like for what? For what? Like, you're so nice, but you have all these people coming at you, being mean to you, like for what? And that made you sad, but you still tried to continue to be this beautiful, shining, bright bit of love, no matter what was coming at you. Because kids need love. Kids want to be loved, and kids need love. No matter what came at you, you still had faith that humanity would love you. Yeah. So what do they need now that they didn't get in the past? The Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Thinking of father figure, some stability. Maybe you didn't have a very stable childhood. Yeah, I'm seeing both, like, healing and just stability, period. Maybe you didn't have a very stable home growing up. Maybe the father, maybe you didn't have a good father figure around, unfortunately. Emotional nourishment, probably wasn't there as well. Maybe mom was a bit distant. Maybe both parents were a bit distant from you. Maybe one or both parents weren't necessarily in the picture like that. Some spiritual life, some type of spiritual life. Maybe you didn't go to church as a kid, or maybe you didn't have some type of firm spiritual grounding as a child. Yeah, maybe money was a bit lackluster. So maybe you should look for a father figure or a mother figure or whatever parental figure was not present in your life. And it doesn't always have to be someone that you know. Like, I don't know Iyanla Van Zandt, right? Like Queen Iyanla Van Zandt, but I still look to her as a mother figure. You know what I mean? Whoever you admire, you can take on as a mother figure or a father figure. Or you could actively look for one who's actually going to interact with you. I feel like that would be, the better situation, right? Tend to your physical surroundings. And that, money is a rigged system. So I'm never going to like promote chase the bag, get rich, you know what I mean? Maybe just get your physical surroundings, your immediate physical surroundings, nice and tidy. Maybe it's asking you, it's okay to invest in things that, bring you some joy. Maybe if it's a nice candle, if it's a nice, bath salt, if it's a nice, pot or pan or whatever, it's okay to invest in that. It's okay to want nice things. If you want nice things and you have the money to get nice things, absolutely get those nice things. You deserve it. I feel like it's asking you also to develop more of a spiritual life, or your mental health at the very least. Pay more attention to that. That's what you need. A parental figure, some nice things that'll make you happy, like a bath, like a crystal, like some new shoes, in moderation though. You know what I mean? But it's okay to treat yourself. I think it's okay. It's saying it's okay to treat yourself, and it's okay to pay attention to your spiritual life, your mental health. That's important. You need that. You need that healing energy. You need it. All right, let's see how you can honor your inner child. Let me do that again. I feel like, because I just got these cards, I don't know. If they come up again, they come up again. I just feel like maybe I didn't shuffle them very well. See the good in everything and dare to be creative. Despite the fact that you may have gone through this, up here where, you were so full of, keep that light. Because you went through some shit, but you still keep that light. You keep that light inside of you. That light that, even though people are mean, even though people can be harsh, I have this light inside of me that no one could ever, 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 ever diminish. And I'm going to hold on to that. See the good in everything. Continue to see the good, because I feel like that's what propelled you in your childhood. Is you saw the good in everything, despite the fact that humanity can be mean, devious, selfish. You saw the good, and you need to continue to see the good. Continue to hold on to that light that you have in your life, and maybe find some creative outlet. Maybe do some poetry, maybe do writing, maybe do something, painting, whatever. You don't have to make a life out of it, but just find some creative outlet in order to express your feelings. See what else it says. Think about all the creative ideas that come into you in one day. How many do you dismiss as trivial or unproductive? Healing requires impractical and daring creativity. Your goal to observe how you respond to your own creative voice. Are you receptive or self-critical? Don't dismiss the beautiful ideas that you have. You might be an empath, As empaths, as children, we are often really harshly criticize as kids, so much so that we begin to doubt, our own light and our own individuality and our own voice that we can use to share to the world. Don't doubt that. Don't ever lose that. Reconnect to your creative side. If you had something as a kid that you were creative, you had some creative outlet as a kid, come back to that, or develop something. Just do something that feeds your creativity, that can help you just kind of get out of the monotony of serving capitalism. You know what I mean? Basically, do something that serves you. Tend to your own light. Tend to your light. What does your light need? Maybe that light needs something creative. Maybe experiment with cooking. Experiment, with pottery. Whatever it is. But keep your light, okay? You have a beautiful soul. Alright, pile 3. That was your reading. If this video resonated, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. I love to do this. Even if it doesn't bring me the attention and acclaim that I wanted to, I'm doing this because I serve humanity and I serve my fellow human. So, that being said, have a good day. Bye. Alright, pile 4. Last but not least, this is your inner child reading. So first I petitioned, what is your inner child feeling? Which is going to be represented by these 2 cards. And what do they need that they didn't get as a child, represented by these 2 cards. So what are they currently feeling right now, your inner child? Falseness and melancholy in reverse. Both in reverse. I feel like they were kind of popular, but it definitely made some hi B. It definitely made some superficial connections with people. Like maybe they put on this front that they were so happy and so popular and so everyone liked them, but really like they were quite insecure about the connections that they were being made. Maybe they felt like they were very superficial, not as deep as they wanted them to be, or not as deep as they realized they wanted them to be. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of like fakeness, but like being okay with the fakeness, like being okay because you want to maintain the status quo, like putting on a front like everything's cool, even though you know in your heart that it's not cool. Hi B. You see the B? Oh, it's gone. He come. But yeah, just not being very happy with the situation at hand, whatever situation you were going through as a child, but having to put on a brave face. B, get away from me! Hi guys, sorry, I had to pause the video and redo it because there was a bee that was surrounding me that just kind of like, was like, hey, what's up? Even though, he's chill. Anyways, and there was some sounds. But yeah, you had to be okay with a situation that really was not okay for you. And if you let on that you were not okay, I feel like people were like, oh, why aren't you happy? Why aren't you happy? Why can't you be happy? Why aren't you grateful? So ungrateful type of child. Feeling a bit shut down. Like your emotions don't matter. What you're feeling doesn't matter. But you have to put on a brave face. But really inside you're just like, well, fuck my feelings, right? Whatever. Alright, so what do they need that they didn't get when they were a kid? Oh! Hello, bee! So the Fool and the Ten of Cups in reverse. Interesting. some type of new beginning. Maybe a whole new family. maybe the family that you had growing up, even though they gave birth to you, even though that they gave you life, they're not your family. You know, human beings, even though, you know, we are very communal and we are attached to our families, we can find other families, other places. You know, we have soul families. We have adopted families that are not our blood. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. We have families that are not our blood, but still love us like family, and I think that's what you need. I think you need a different family. Maybe your family situation is quite toxic, and I think this is telling you it's okay to disconnect from them, even though, you know, it sucks, and, you know, we all wanna be close to our blood family because they gave us life. Sometimes our blood family is not the family that is going to give us the emotional support, the financial support that, but more importantly, I think in this situation is, woo! Hi, bee! It was a little bee. Our blood family can't always provide us with the emotional support that that we need as children. So this is saying that it's okay to want to disconnect and maybe distance yourself and find other sources of family that give you joy. So how can you honor your inner child? How else can you honor your inner child? One and a two. Don't feel like you have to control the situation. You see that? The mother is letting go of the child. So I think this ties into the family, yeah. I think that it's telling you to acknowledge the fact that you and your family are probably very different people. You cannot change who your family is. You cannot change the people who you come from. But you can change and control how you react and how you interact. And if you want to change the parameters of you interacting with your family, you have every right to do that. You have every right to do that. If you want to distance yourself, you can do that. You have to realize that you can't change people. And if people have been repeating the same patterns over and over and over and over and over again, time after time, year after year, and you haven't seen any change, and you still feel like, you know, the same way that you felt like 5, 10, 15 years ago, it's okay. It's okay to just release, accept that you are you, first and foremost. You are you. You are your own person. No one is responsible for you but yourself. And go on with your life. You know what I mean? Transform your attitude about the way that the family situation might be. But definitely realize that your parents, your family, whoever raised you, they have their own problems. They have their own problems. They have their own circumstances. They have their own conditioning in the way that they grew up. You know, they might have passed that on to you. So maybe you can try to understand where the people who raised you, where they're coming from, the people you grew up around, where they're coming from, and why they act the way they do. Try to view that through empathy instead of anger. Release control. Realize that you have responsibility for your own life, and you can go off and be the person that you want to be without their approval. You know, change your attitude about it. You know. All right, pile 4. That's all the messages I'm getting for you right now. If this video resonated, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, comment, let me know which pile you picked. I'd love to know. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for listening to my message. Yeah, I will hopefully see you in my next video. Please, I would love to see you again. I love to serve you. I live to serve you. Have a great day. Bye, guys.